My parents shouted, "You're useless! We're giving everything plus the house to your sister." I replied, "Okay," and walked away. But a year later, they came crawling back saying, "We're getting kicked out of our house. Help! I just closed the door on them." I never thought I would be writing this. But here I am at 2 a.m., still thinking about what just happened at my parents' house. Just a warning, this is going to be a long story. To explain, I'm Corey, a 25-year-old male, and I have a sister named Maya, who is 28. She has always been the favorite. Growing up, I could never do anything right, while Maya could do no wrong. I dropped out of college to start working, not because I was failing, but because I wanted to learn a trade and start earning real money. My parents never let me forget how much they disliked my choice. Last night started off normally. Mom texted me, asking me to come over for dinner because they had something important to talk about. I should have realized something was wrong when I saw Maya's fancy car already in the driveway when I arrived in my work truck. The mood changed as soon as I walked in. Maya was there with a smug look on her face, while Mom and Dad had their serious looks, the kind they get when they're about to give a lecture. Dinner was quiet, just the sound of forks scraping against plates and Maya making snide comments about my dirty work clothes. "Sorry for coming straight from a job," I said. Then Dad cleared his throat and dropped the big news. "We've been thinking about the future," he started, not even looking at me. "About our legacy and who can be trusted to take care of it." I kept eating my meatloaf, already knowing where this was going. "Maya has shown she can be trusted," Mom said. "She's responsible, successful, and knows how to manage money." Each word felt like a jab at me. "We've decided to change our will. The house, our savings, everything will go to Maya." Maya's face lit up with excitement. "It's for the best, little brother. We know you just waste money on your projects." The way she said it made my hard work sound like a silly hobby. I set down my fork. "What about me?" Dad shouted back. "What have you done to deserve anything? No degree, no real job, just manual labor." He waved his hand like it didn't matter. "You're useless to this family's future." The kitchen went quiet and Maya's smile grew bigger. "Here's the thing. 10 years ago, that would have hurt me. But I've built something for myself. I have my own business now, contracts, and a team that respects me." I looked at my rough hands and then at Maya's pretty nails. And something clicked in my mind. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly. "Okay," Mom looked confused. "Is that all you have to say?" "Yeah, okay. If you want Maya to have everything, fine. But remember this moment." I looked each of them in the eye. "You chose this." Maya laughed. "Are you trying to be dramatic? What are you going to do, sulk in your truck?" "No, Maya. I'm going to show you just how useless I am." "You want everything? Congratulations, it's all yours, including their problems." Dad yelled about respect, Mom cried about family duty, and Maya made a comment about me being jealous. I just walked out, got in my truck and drove away, blocking their numbers before hitting the highway. That was 3 months ago. Since then, my phone has been filled with messages from relatives, aunts, uncles, family friends, telling me I need to make peace and think about my poor parents. Yesterday, I got a voicemail from Mom saying they were in trouble, big trouble. Turns out Maya isn't as responsible as they thought. I saved that voicemail because I might want to remember how they sound when they are begging for help. If you're interested, I'll update when the next big thing happens. Right now, I'm focused on growing my business and watching karma take its course. Update 1. It's been about 8 months since my last post about my parents saying, "I'm worthless and giving everything to my sister Maya." A lot has happened. And honestly, I'm still figuring it all out. Last Tuesday, I was having coffee at a small diner I like to visit before work, scrolling through my phone, when I got a long message from my mom. I almost choked on my coffee when I read it. Apparently, they are being kicked out of their house, the same house I grew up in, the one they promised to Maya. The message was full of, "We made a terrible mistake, and you were always the responsible one. And please help us, we don't know what to do." I ignored it. 10 minutes later, Dad started calling, then Maya, then Mom again. I blocked them all and finished my coffee. But curiosity got the best of me, so I did some digging. It turns out, Maya convinced them to refinance the house to invest in a so-called amazing real estate opportunity she found. She promised to triple their money in 6 months. You can guess how that turned out. The market crashed, and Maya lost everything, their money, her clients' money, the whole thing. Now the bank is taking my parents' house. The best part? While I was at the diner, Maya showed up. She just walked in like she owned the place. She was wearing those fake designer sunglasses she loves, trying to look important. "Corey, you have to help them," she said, sliding into my booth without asking. "They're your parents." Like I'm their worthless son? Oh my God, are you still upset about that? Grow up! They made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I looked her right in the eyes. You're right. They did make a mistake, many actually. Trusting you was their biggest one. She started crying, the fake kind, with tears that didn't mess up her makeup. They'll be homeless, Corey. Is that what you want, to see your own parents on the street? I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots I saved from last year, the family group chat, where they all teamed up against me. The messages calling me worthless, her text bragging about the house. You know what's funny, Maya? While you were playing real estate mogul with their money, I was actually learning the business for real. I know how much their house is worth. I know about the liens. I know about the foreclosure auction next month. Her face turned pale.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about karma, sis. I have the money to buy that house at the auction. And guess what? I will. She exploded, yelling right there in the diner about how I was being mean, how family should help each other, how I was ruining our parents' lives. The manager had to ask her to leave. Later that day, my parents showed up at my apartment. Dad was red-faced, shouting about how I wasn't his son anymore. Mom was crying, begging me to change my mind. I just stood there, letting them vent. Finally, Dad ran out of steam. In the silence, I said, "Remember when you told me I'd never be anything? That I was worthless compared to Maya? Well, look at us now. I'm the one with savings. I'm the one who can buy your house. Funny how life works, right?" Mom tried to hug me, but I stepped back. "I'll see you at the auction," I said and closed the door. The auction is in 3 weeks. I already have my financing ready. Maya has been spreading rumors about me and the family, saying I'm heartless, that I'm destroying our parents out of spite. Maybe she's right about the spite part, but you know what? I'm done being nice. They're still blowing up my phone, aunts. Uncles, cousins, everyone has an opinion. Most are on their side, saying I should help. A few understand, though. My cousin Stephen called yesterday and said it's about time someone stood up to them. The best part? Maya's investment scheme is falling apart. Turns out she wasn't just playing with our parents' money. Other clients are starting to ask questions. Her broker license is under review. Karma really is something. I know buying their house might seem mean, but after everything, the favoritism, the insults, the manipulation, I just want them to know what they threw away. I'm not their worthless son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to own their house. I'll update after the auction. Maya's already threatening to expose me, whatever that means. Edit. Since people are asking, yes, I have proof of everything. No, I'm not worried about legal issues. The foreclosure is real, and I'm just another buyer at a public auction. Maya can threaten all she wants, but she should be the one worried about legal problems. After my family called me worthless and gave everything to my sister, their bad investments caught up with them. Now they are losing their house, and I'm going to buy it at the auction. Update 2. Hey, Reddit. A lot of you have been messaging me for an update, so here it is. Get ready because Karma finally showed up, and she's being really tough. Quick recap. My parents called me worthless and gave everything to my sister. Maya, I walked away and built my own life. Then they lost everything because of Maya's mistakes. Now they're facing the results of their choices. The auction was yesterday. Guess who now owns my parents' house? That's right. Me, the useless son they kicked out. The look on Maya's face when I walked in and started bidding was priceless. She tried to outbid me but couldn't even come close. Turns out her credit is ruined, and none of her business contacts want to help her. My parents were there too. Mom started crying in the middle of the auction. That's our house. You can't do this to us. Dad tried to grab my arm and talk sense to me. I looked him straight in the eye and said, sorry. I'm just a worthless son doing worthless things. The auctioneer had to threaten to call security to get them to back off. Maya cornered me in the parking lot afterward, yelling about how I was ruining the family and how Mom was having panic attacks because of me. I pulled out my phone and played the recording from last year's dinner, where she laughed while my parents called me worthless. She went quiet. Remember when you said I'd never be anything, Maya? Look who's living in their car now. That's right. She's been sleeping in her small car for a week. Her boyfriend kicked her out after finding out she used up all his credit cards. All her real estate plans were built on lies and other people's money, and now it's all gone. My parents are living in a small, run-down apartment. Dad tried to play the family card yesterday and showed up at my office unexpectedly. "We raised you better than this," he said. I just laughed and asked if he meant the part where they taught me to step on people, or the part where they taught me that family means nothing when money is involved. The best part? My girlfriend, Autumn, works at the bank where Maya had her accounts. Legally, she told me that Maya has been bouncing checks left and right. Her former clients are coming after her for the money she mismanaged. She's in deep trouble with debt and legal issues. I hired a property management company to handle the eviction process. They're giving my family 30 days to leave. Maya has been calling me non-stop, leaving messages about how they will be homeless. I just keep forwarding them to my new email folder called Karma. Mom came to my house last night, crying about how they learned their lesson. She brought my old childhood photos to try to make me feel guilty. I opened the door, looked at the photos, and threw them in the recycling bin right in front of her. "You should have thought about these memories before you threw me away," I said and shut the door in her face. "The house, I'm going to fix it up and rent it out. Every month when they drive by and see other people living in their dream home, they'll remember their choices." Maya has already been seen crying in her car outside the house twice. Autumn thinks I'm being too hard. Maybe I am, but you know what? They spent years telling me I was worthless and that nothing I did was good enough. Now they have to live with the consequences of that lesson. Here's the surprising part. I found out that Maya has been telling people I tricked them out of their house. Classic. She still can't accept that her own actions led to this. Dad is apparently drinking a lot, and Mom is posting passive-aggressive Bible quotes on Facebook about ungrateful children. The family is divided. My Aunt Bridget, Mom's sister, called to say I'm evil for making my parents homeless. I reminded her about the time she watched Mom throw my college acceptance letter in the trash because our school is good enough for people like you. She hung up on me. But my cousin Stephen showed up with drinks and helped me change the locks on the house. He said he's been waiting for years for Maya to get what's coming to her. The property management company says they'll be out by the end of the month. I'm having security cameras installed tomorrow. Part of me hopes they try something silly. The other part knows they're too broken to even try. I should feel bad. I know I should. But every time I drive past that house, every time I see Maya's small car parked outside some cheap motel, every time Mom's number shows up on my phone, I remember that dinner. I remember them laughing. I remember Maya's smirk, and I smile. Final update. It's been a crazy month since my last update. I think you all deserve to know how this story ended. Get ready! Remember how I said Maya was trying to fix her reputation? Well, it turns out being desperate makes people do stupid things. Last Tuesday, I was at home watching TV with Autumn when my phone started going crazy. Not just Maya, but my parents too, all sending dramatic, "we need to talk now" messages. I ignored them at first, but then Autumn, scrolling through Instagram, said, "Babe, you need to see this." Maya posted a long story about how her mean brother was ruining the family, with crying selfies and old family photos tagging me in it. She started a whole hashtag campaign about family reconciliation or something. The comments were wild. All these people who didn't know what really happened were sending me mean messages. Maya even got some local Facebook moms involved. Real class. But here's where they messed up. They showed up at my house, all three of them. Maya was filming on her phone, hoping to catch some dramatic moment for social media. My dad was trying to act tough, but that doesn't work on me anymore, and Mom was already fake crying. I almost didn't open the door, but I was done hiding. I opened it and stood there, blocking the way. Maya immediately started her speech. "We're here to fix our family. Why are you being so mean? We just want to talk." I looked straight into her phone and said, "Maya, remember that email you sent me last year? The one where you bragged about tricking Mom and Dad into signing over their house? The one where you said they were too stupid to know what they signed? I still have that." Her phone dropped quickly. Then I turned to my parents. "And that contract you signed with Maya last year, the one she said was just normal paperwork for the house? I had a lawyer friend look at it. You didn't just sign over the house, you also agreed to pay for all her failed investments. That's why your credit is ruined. That's why you can't even rent a decent place now. Your precious golden child messed you over, not me." Maya tried to interrupt, but I wasn't done. You want to talk about family? Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about how I offered to help you fix the roof last year, but you said my work wasn't good enough for your precious house. Now you're living in that rundown apartment because Maya's contractor friend did such a bad job that the new owners had to fix the whole top floor. Mom started crying real tears. We made a mistake. We are your parents. No, you made a series of choices. Every time you chose Maya over me, every time you belittled my work, every time you called me worthless. Those weren't mistakes, they were choices. And now you have to live with the consequences. Dad tried to step forward. Bad mood. I'm not that skinny kid anymore. 6 years of construction work changes a person. He must have seen something in my eyes because he stepped back. Here's what's going to happen, I said. Maya, you're going to delete that Instagram post and all your hashtags. Mom, Dad, you're going to stop telling people I abandoned the family. Because if you don't, I'll share every screenshot, every email, every legal document showing how Maya tricked you. Your choice. Maya deleted everything before they even left my driveway. The best part? That house they're so upset about me buying? I just signed the papers to sell it to a nice young family. I even made a good profit. Yeah, I could have kept it and made them watch someone else live in their dream home. But I realized something. I don't need that kind of reminder in my life. Autumn and I are using the money as a down payment on our own place. Something that has never had their toxic energy in it. Something that's just ours. Last I heard, Maya is working at a mall kiosk. My parents are still in that small apartment. Sometimes karma does a better job than any revenge could. To everyone who followed this story, thank you for your support. Special thanks to those who messaged me about similar experiences with favorite siblings. You helped me realize I wasn't crazy for cutting them off. Life is good now. Autumn and I are talking about getting married next spring. My business is doing well, and most importantly, I sleep just fine at night knowing I didn't have to ruin their lives. They did that on their own. I just refuse to be their safety net. Edit. Wow, this blew up. My inbox is full. No, I won't share Maya's Instagram handle. Yes, this is really over. I'm not updating anymore. It's time to close this chapter for good. Edit 2. For those asking, yes, I'm done with them forever. No, I don't care if they end up homeless. They made their choices. Edit 3. Stop sending me worried messages. I'm not sad. I'm finally free. If you enjoyed this Reddit story and want to hear more, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more thrilling content. Your support means a lot. Thank you for being part of this journey.